In the school holidays, if you're stuck for something to do and you're in Scotland, well, we do have the great outdoors. If you've got a car, you've got lots of options available to you. Many places you can get in Scotland quite easily from Edinburgh, the big cities like Glasgow. But if you're in Edinburgh, you've only got public transport, or maybe even want to spring for a taxi, get yourself up to the Pentland Hills. We went to Swanston, we took an amazing little walk there with my wife and kids the other day. There's wildlife out there, you can often see deer just like springing about in the fields. A few places you can go, you can see some Highland cows up close, and there's a beautiful little village you can see just at the end as well. A real favourite place for us recently has been going over to Fife and getting to Ely. Ely is a gorgeous little village right on the coast, and something we really like about there is we can park up, we can go for a jog along the coast. Very quickly when you're out of the village you'll come to a few little World War II defences. Shortly afterwards you'll come to a little lighthouse built from 1908, but if you continue just along the coast a little bit, only for a few minutes, you'll come to Lady's Tower, a tower built in 1780 for Lady Jane Anstruther to admire the views after her private little swims. She used to have a servant that would walk through the area ringing a bell to alert everybody to the fact she was about to go for a swim, and she'd change privately in a little cave just down below where the tower is. After a run, our favourite thing to do is go to the Ely Seaside Sauna. It's right down in the sand dunes, it's got some amazing views. During school term, sometimes my wife and I go for a run on our own, then just join in the community sauna, which is about £16 a person. But we thought we'd go with the kids and see what that would be like with them, so we had it out for a private session, and everybody really enjoyed their time there, especially because we timed it well with the tide times, and we go in and out of the Firth of Forth. It was a beautiful clear day, we even got to see some jellyfish. And then we headed along to the beautiful village of Crail, which has got an old breakwater dating back to the 16th century. We always like to take a walk through the village. It's a beautiful little place. It doesn't get as many tourists as some other places along the coast. The flowers are out at this time of year. It's absolutely gorgeous. The houses are quite majestic to look at. It's like you're in another little world. We also had a quick coffee and cake stop at the Crail Harbour Cafe and Gallery. Then we headed along to Anstruther to get some dinner after a little walkabout. Love this little house with all the shells on the outside there. Some beautiful coloured buildings. And when you go along near sunset time, the light is absolutely gorgeous. The tide was out when we were there, and you can actually walk from this little area, the little car park, across the sands and some stepping stones to where the houses are there, which is well worth it. We also climbed down some steps here and had a little wander along. For dinner, we decided to go to the Wee Chippy. It was actually our first time there, and we loved it. The portions were very generous, even the children's size portions, and it was reasonably priced as well. The four of us went in and we left spending about £44, which these days seems like it's very good value for money. Very fresh and very tasty. If you like to bike, I highly recommend getting up to Loch Leven. It's easy to go there with the kids. It's a nice flat track going all the way around. It's about 20 kilometres. There's a few little bits you can stop to have picnics like we did. There's cafes you can go and visit. There's bird shelters that you can go and check out some of the wildlife. And there's even a little castle in the middle of the Loch Leven Castle in the middle of the island, somewhere that Mary Queen of Scots was imprisoned for a while after she abdicated the throne. There's a lot you can do in the area, and there's a great little coffee shop nearby in Kinross as well. Unorthodox Roasters, highly recommend it. After 20 kilometres of going around there with your kids as well, they are very tired. Cannot recommend it highly enough. Every parent out there knows that they like to have quiet kids that are going to go to sleep early that night. Well worth the effort. Here at Loch Catherine, if you're willing to do a little bit of a walk from where the car park is, where you're going to get on steamships to go over the loch, which is highly recommended. But if you're not doing that, just go for a little walk and you're going to get all these amazing views, mostly to yourself. The trees are lush, you get the path mostly to yourself, but you do have to be aware there are some cars that do nip along there. I've noticed a couple of post vans and even a delivery van going along. There's a little path you can take just off to the side as well that will take you for a little wander, a little adventure, and you'll get some nice little views of the loch. You'll find plenty of little tracks that people or animals have left before you. Important thing when you go down them though, make sure you don't wander off, damage all the shrubbery around about you, and whatever you do, don't leave any litter. Just a few minutes walk up from the car park at Loch Catherine, you'll get to the newish viewpoint. It's a steep walk up, but it's well worth it for the views. We'll go up to the top. There's 3 levels. First level down below gives you some information about Sir Walter Scott, his epic poem Lady of the Lake that made this area famous and made it the first proper tourist destination in Scotland. And it's got some information about some of the other characters that were a big inspiration, people like Rob Roy. But you get up to the top and the views along Loch Catherine, which is the water source for Glasgow. Absolutely amazing. If you can arrange it in advance, I'd highly recommend getting on the Sir Walter Scott steamship as well, which leaves from the port at Loch Catherine. It's about £20 one way or about £28.50 for a return journey. It'll take you out to the other side of the loch. You can visit a little cafe there, have a wander about and get the ship back. If you were thinking about walking back, it is quite long, so do bear that in mind. Somewhere we went this week for the first time was Loch Turret. Not far from Crieff, you've got the reservoir and the dam, and you can get a great little path just to walk along there. First of all, we went to McRoasty Park in Crieff for the kids to have a little play. We took a picnic for having some food when we were there. But if you're in Crieff, I do recommend visiting Love to Cook, M's Pastries or Damsel Bakery if you want to get some little treats when you're out. Also nearby at the Glenturret Distillery you can have some whiskey, and you've even got a Michelin star restaurant, so lots of stuff just nearby there. Something we have had for many years now and is well worth the money is Historic Scotland membership. It gives you access to so many castles all over Scotland. Edinburgh and Stirling are the big famous ones, but one we really like to go to is Doune Castle. Recently it's become very famous as being the Mackenzie Castle in the TV show Outlander. You'll even recognise Mrs Miggin's kitchen quite easily, although that was all filmed in a set near Cumbernauld. Monty Python fans will recognise it from the Holy Grail, and you can even buy coconuts to clip-clop along like a horse in the gift shop down there. I highly recommend getting the audio guides when you're in there. You're going to have some of the Monty Python guys talking about making the movie. You're going to have Sam Heughan from Outlander talking about filming there. But just exploring the castle, going down the spiral staircases, having an explore in the rooms, imagining what life would have been like under the Duke of Albany when the castle was first built in the 1400s. It's a great way to spend a day. A few little secret passages for the kids to explore, and you've even got a little bottleneck dungeon. So just a few of the many things you can do.